Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Chris with InsideTheU. Thanks for stopping by. I'm here in Fort Myers for the final day of the City of Palms Classic. It's a huge event, and every year I always try to come out here. So although I wasn't able to be at the first few days, I definitely want to come out here for this final day. And today I watched 3 games, and in particular I want to watch 3 teams from the Northeast play. And Miami is recruiting some of these guys, definitely has their eyes on these guys. And obviously, if you followed Miami basketball recruiting, you know they like to recruit out of the Northeast. So Archbishop Carroll out of Pennsylvania, watched them again. Actually was there in January, had a chance to watch them in action there, and I'll get into them. But also Long Island Lutheran out of New York, a huge program. You know, a program that a lot of people know that follows high school basketball. And then also Bishop McNamara, really intriguing program out of the DMV there in Maryland. So first off, Archbishop Carroll, let's start with them because they had a Miami target. It's a school that I've definitely had my eye on. As I mentioned, was there in January, watched them play against Archbishop Wood, which is where current Hurricane Jaleel Bethia went to school. So it was good seeing these players in action and just seeing them, you know, essentially a full year later almost. So it starts with Luka Foster, and he's a 2026 wing that Miami has offered. At the time before I saw him in January, they hadn't offered, but a good summer from him, picks up some offers, had a chance to talk to him afterwards, and he likes how Miami's recruiting him, but definitely a VIP article for everybody that wants to check out his full recruitment and the full stats from today's game. But, you know, Foster's a guy that Miami likes. DJ Irving, the assistant coach, actually went to Archbishop Carroll. So there's that tie already. So it's not just that DJ has that ties to the Philadelphia area. This is a school that he went to and starred at. So certainly well aware of this program he is. And, you know, it was a tough shooting night for Luka here, a tough shooting day. Finished with 9 points, 3 of 12 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. And just felt dejected. They go 0-3 in the tournament. Just again, a highly prestigious tournament. A lot of really good players, a lot of really good teams from all across the country. That's what's most fun about this event, seeing all these guys. But, you know, watching Luka, you know, comparative to when I saw him in January, I just thought he progressed. I thought just a really active player, really good athleticism. Even though his shot wasn't falling, I really liked his activity level on both ends of the floor. And he's a guy, to me, just watching him, seems very in tune to the game. You know, every little thing he's paying attention to, whether even the little things, just like helping up teammates and, you know, cheering them on. But again, defensive assignments, he just seems very locked in. He battled a little foul trouble early. His 3-point shot wasn't dropping. Just a rough game overall. He did show some good bursts, and like I said, made 3 shots there. And, you know, you could tell he's just a player definitely to keep an eye on in this 2026 class in general, but certainly for Miami because of the ties that I mentioned before. So when I was there in Philadelphia in January and had a chance to talk to people from different schools, and one of the names that kept popping up was this 2027 out of Archbishop Carroll, and that's Munir Gregg. And, you know, today, a huge performance, 27 points, 11 rebounds, 7-11 from the field, made 5 of 7 from 3. Just a kind of like a big, strong, you know, athletic wing there. But, you know, being able to hit those pull-up threes, I was impressed with that. And you could see his competitive nature as well. You know, going to the basket, drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line. He shot 12 free throws. So in this game, made 8 of them. So just a really active player. And again, one of the things that was popping up with his name is a lot of people thought in the Philadelphia area, this is that 2027 to watch. You know, one of the guys already early on. And so good to see him play well in this game. You know, just kind of this tough guy. And you know, as I saw with Luka, you know, with Munir, you know, already seeing that progression. When I saw him in January, he was a name, you know, a guy to pay attention to. Didn't have a huge game. You know, in this game he did. So it was good to see him for another time and kind of continuing to watch his progress. But I thought he looked good, and he had good things to say about Miami as well. But again, stay tuned to the website to see what both of these guys, Luka and Munir, had to say about the Hurricanes. So of these 3 games, I do want to mention this is a team that not from the Northeast. They're actually from Kentucky, but Malachi Moreno, he was the best player that I saw today in these 3 games. 15 of 15 from the floor, 39 points, 11 rebounds, drew 11 fouls, went to the free throw line 16 times. He's a Kentucky guy, going to Kentucky. He's a senior, but I just want to give a shout out to him because that's the thing about this event. You get to see these high-level players, and it's fun watching their progress. You know, I've seen guys at this event go on to play in the NBA. That's something that they really take pride in. in producing all of these draft picks and NBA players out of this event. A lot of high-level players play there. So he led his team to an overtime win over Bishop McNamara out of there, the DMV. And, Bishop McNamara's got a few guys to pay attention to, I think. And in particular, I was really impressed with the 2026. He's listed as a combo guard. I think he can play point, and just kind of watching him kind of progress to that and talking to him. And that's Prince Alexander Moody. And Prince, and talking to him, he feels like he's doing a good job of making that transition, kind of feels like he can shoot it as well and score, but also distribute the ball. And I saw today really good dribbling, kind of going to the basket, doing a good job off the dribble, beating his man, getting to the basket. And when, sometimes he would shoot the ball, finished with 20 points in the game here. But not only did he get to the basket to score for himself, but when he got under there in the lane, he was kicking out and dishing out to teammates either for three-point attempts. Didn't only have 3 assists, but certainly a lot of open shots that he created. And I thought that was big in this game. And again, look at the box score, you only see the 3 assists, but watching him here, really, like I said, just really created for his teammates. I was impressed by that. And talking to him, Miami has not reached out to him, but he said it's a program that, he's intrigued by, and he had positive things to say about the Hurricanes. Again, I'll have a VIP article on the website, but I just think he's a guy that's a good player. And I think he's a guy that I think would fit well at Miami or in the ACC. I just think he's that level of a guy. And again, a team that had another tough week here at City of Palms, but he's looking forward to kind of moving forward with the season, taking what he learned here today. But definitely pay attention to Prince Moody. I like what he's bringing to the table. He's a guy. They played 3 games. First game, really rough game, 1 for 12 from the floor. But this one finished it with his best individual performance, 20 points. He had a 3. They were down 10 going into the fourth quarter. He had a 3 with 12 seconds left to tie the game, sends it to overtime. And then they're down 6 with the ball late in the overtime, and he hits a 3 to kind of keep them in it there in the final minutes. So weren't able to get the win, but I thought he played well. I was impressed with how he played today. Another 2026 guard that I was highly impressed with at Bishop McNamara, and that's Caden Samuels. Just one of these guys, finished with 30 points, just a natural scorer, a left-hander, can shoot threes, get to the basket, mid-range floater, one of those kind of guys that kind of a 3-level scorer. I think he's going to be a guy that, again, Miami's not in the picture right now, as far as I know, and I just think that with these other schools, really going after him because he's such a high-level guy, I think, maybe at this point Miami's got work to do, or just that they've kind of gone in a different route. But Samuels definitely was a highly impressive player as well. And then Brandon Woodard, definitely want to point him out at Bishop McNamara, young player to kind of pay attention to, a forward player, kind of a power forward type, just kind of a name just to throw out there to pay attention to as well moving forward. And finally, the last game that I watched today was Long Island Lutheran, comes away with a 54-40 grind-out win. And 2026 guard Dylan Wingo was the best player in this game, finished with a game-high 16 points, also had 7 rebounds, really tough going to the basket. One of these, high-level, highly regarded guys in the 2026 class. A guard can kind of play on the ball, can handle it, also can play off the ball, and does a good job, just kind of filling different roles. I thought, again, 7 rebounds, I thought he did a good job with that as well. And Long Island Lutheran, look, Kyan Anthony didn't play. But Carmelo was out here, great seeing him as always. He's just a huge supporter, and it's always kind of, I think it's really cool seeing young fans come up to him and kind of get an autograph. I saw a fan wearing a Carmelo jersey today at Nuggets 15 there. So it's just cool. It's a great event being here. Just another great performance by everyone involved, and just again, it's just a high-level event. If you haven't been to it, I highly recommend it. But Long Island Lutheran, do want to mention, they've got other guys as well. They've got other 2026s and even 2027s that I'm going to have in the full write-up from those 3 games with some stats, full stats, and my full thoughts on these guys. But definitely was impressed with them. I thought Musa looked good, the 2027 prospect there out of New York. I thought he looked good there at Kamasoko. But that's going to wrap everything up again. I'm going to mention a lot more players and just kind of the more in-depth. It's always easier to do, with the VIP articles there. But I'll have highlights too of these players that I've mentioned. Get a chance for you guys to take a look at them and see what you think of them. But overall, great event. I want to wish everybody happy holidays. Rough season for the Miami Hurricanes. It started out at 4-8. They've got plenty of time to kind of get things right here during this break. I know some players are going home for the holidays. January 1st is their next game. So we'll see. We'll see how they do. I expect adjustments. They have to make adjustments, whether it's rotation. I think offensively and defensively, the coaching staff has their hands full in trying to soak in the game data from these 12 games that they've had and really kind of apply it moving forward. 2 winnable games, even though they're on the road with Boston College and Virginia Tech to start it out here in the first week of January. They certainly got to play much better than they have, or they're going to keep losing games. It's really disappointing for a program that had done so well, winning the ACC title in the Final Four just 2 years ago. And then the disaster of the ending of last year, really disappointing. Weren't able to build on the momentum from 2 years ago, and this year doesn't look good either. There's no doubt about it. The 2 really bad losses there, Charleston Southern and now Mount St. Mary's, a 7-game losing streak mixed in, but 4-8. Certainly unacceptable if you look at the top 5 conferences. If you're talking about the Big East, Big 12, Big 10, ACC, and also the SEC, Miami has the worst record among those 5 teams right now, winning percentage, 4-8. So that kind of just puts everything into perspective. But I do want to appreciate your support for this video, for the channel, Miami Hoops Basketball. Definitely like doing this. Stay tuned. I appreciate everybody, and take care.